Hello and welcome to Blood and Popcorn. It is the third episode, so if you've been keeping up, thank you very much for doing so. If not, and this is your first time, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about The Sixth Sense, Annabelle Creation, and Jacob's Ladder, and then we're going to talk about a little bit of the real Annabelle as well. No murders today. So first we're going to talk about The Sixth Sense. I've seen this a bunch of times, really. It actually it wasn't an inspiration for me, but I guess it was, I wanted to help people the way Bruce Willis's character did as well. And it's kind of what eye-opened me to being a psychologist, which was my major when I was in college. However, that did not pan out, unfortunately. But, yeah, so that's interesting. Something a little interesting about that. This movie is fantastic, of course. It's a cult classic, I guess. I would highly suggest it if you haven't watched it. If you haven't watched it, it's kind of weird that you haven't, but you should definitely watch it. It's super sad. The Haley Joel Osment, of course, he's, even as a kid, like, he was one of the best kid actors, honestly. Like, even if, because he was a kid, you wouldn't think so, but then you see his performance in this movie and it's so moving and you just feel bad for him because he can see ghosts and he doesn't know what to do. He's scared out of his mind all of the time, and it's so sad. Like, I don't even know what I would do if that happened. Like, honestly, it would freak me out if I was a kid and like that. Oh my gosh. Kudos to him for even keeping that a secret for so long. Like, I get that he was gonna be picked on or looked at weird because he didn't want to have that happen. But man, he didn't tell his mom, which I get as well, but whew, I'm glad he did tell her and tell everybody eventually. And it was, of course, a plot trip of M. Night Shyamalan? Yeah, we know. Of his as Bruce Willis is dead. We already know there's a spoiler. I don't have to say it again. So yeah, I thought that was pretty great. There's just a lot to this movie. I actually, when I was looking into being a psychologist, this is the movie that gave me the reason, because I found a place where I wanted to work. Like, that was my goal when I got my doctorate, and I knew I should probably find, like, somewhere to live 2 cities or 3 cities away. Like, it takes a while to get there, and not have any personal things in the town that I would be working at. Just because of what happened in this movie. I mean, granted, I guess it was a while before the patient found him, but he did eventually find him, and that kind of freaked me out as well. It's not one of the reasons why I quit on that dream, though. That's another thing. But yeah, great movie, of course. I gave it a 10 out of 10, of course. And I liked the, I don't know if it's like behind the scenes or whatnot, I forgot where I read it, but every time you see the color red in the movie, that there's a ghost nearby. Like his red blanket, there's a ghost, the red doorknob, the mom's red fingernails, the Haley cold sweatshirt when he's going up the stairs. Like, it's just a bunch of little things that are so cool that he added. I just thought a lot of his movies are like that, but not like The Color Red or anything, but they have little things like that, which is really cool. I really like that. And on to Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is not a horror movie per se. It is a psychological thriller, I would say. There was just the one creepy part was the faces that kept popping up at random times. Like, he was almost getting hit by that car, and then a face was in the car, and he's like, the fuck? And then the people's heads, like, freaking out. Like, if you've ever seen House on Haunted Hill, which is one of my favorite movies, old and new, Um, except for House on Haunted Hill 2 or Return to House on Haunted Hill. That's one stupid. Don't watch that one. But that one has well, the remake has one part, well, a couple parts actually, where the someone, like, a creature's just staying there and the head's like shaking, like out of control, like it's really creepy looking. Yeah, that part happened a few times, Jacob's Ladder. But when you watch it, it gets really sad and depressing because he's in Vietnam. He has these flashbacks and hallucinations, and everybody wants to help him, but they don't know how, and they don't. Well, his girlfriend didn't believe him for a while, like monsters and like you need some help, but I mean there was something in his head, but it was just horrible, and what he went through, and then he thought there was like experiments and everything. It was really sad, and then he just kind of downward spiraled, and he just didn't know what to cope. Like these demons and these bad thoughts and hallucinations were in his head. Like he didn't know what to cope with. But of course, if you've seen the movie, you know what happens in the end. It was really depressing and sad. But he did reunite with his son. And if you didn't know, watch it. And if you don't know, he's dead. Well, that was a pretty good movie as well. I also like the actor who plays Jacob. He also played in Shawshank Redemption, which is a really awesome movie as well. He's just a really good actor. Tim Robbins, I believe. I really suggest both of those movies. They're excellent movies. It will be, I guess, not like a tearjerker. It will pull at your heartstrings a little bit. You just feel really bad for him. And I kind of thought of like all the veterans that I've met. Not exactly like that, but they have like this weird, I can't explain it really, but if you've ever met a Vietnam veteran, they're, well, I can't say for everybody who was in the war, but the ones I've met, they're different, and it's sad. We don't know what they really went through. Everything was horrible in that war, in all of the wars really, but oh my goodness, it was sad. So yeah, in the end, he thinks that they went through like a experimentation with the soldiers. The government did. He finds more of his platoon buddies, I guess, and they want to go to trial with him, but then they call him later on and decide to just drop out of it. He gets confused as to why, and they just show the platoon buddies all upset and call him out. So he goes to the lawyer, and the lawyer's like, you never want to be into Vietnam, you're crazy, all your crazy friends are, blah, 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 blah. And he starts thinking he's going insane. He has to prove himself, and then he gets kidnapped, and then, oh my gosh, that part afterwards, he gets, like, kidnapped in this car by, I guess it was, like, government officials, or, like, trying to keep him quiet about it, and then, like, he falls out of the car because he's trying to, like, fight with them to get them out of the car, and they hurt his back, and he gets taken to the hospital, and they think he's crazy, so he has like this weird hallucination area where he's like taken in this broken insane asylum where people is like crawling on like the gates and sitting in blood and oh gross, and chopped up body parts, and then they start like poking him and doing surgical stuff, and his girlfriend's supposedly there. Then he actually wakes up, and he's in, I'm so sorry about the noise if you can hear my neighbors. I really apologize. But then he wakes up, and he's actually in a hospital, and his back's all messed up, his leg's broken, and it's really, really sad. Just basically, it's just all of his brains, and I don't know. It's really sad. It was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. It made me think a little bit, which I do like. I enjoyed it. I would give it a 8 out of 10, just because I don't particularly like war movies, Really. And it wasn't about the war or anything. It was more about like the psychological stuff after the war. But it was really good. You know what? I'm gonna change that. It's a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I changed it. Definitely 9 out of 10. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Alright, so this next film, I'm just gonna say, I really hate dolls. I hate ventriloquist dolls. I hate the China dolls. They just creep me the fuck out. I don't know. Well, I do know. Well, first off, when I was younger, my mom actually let me watch The Puppet Master. I didn't get through the whole movie. I don't remember all of the movie. I tried to watch it when I was an adult, like a few months ago. I couldn't get through that. I tried to watch it with a friend. He fell asleep. I got too scared. So I just couldn't. I can't watch that alone. I have to be in broad daylight. Like, I even watched this movie in broad daylight and it kind of creeped me out in the doll parts. But, oh my god. I am so sorry. I will be laughing like that because it just creeps me out. I'm sorry, I apologize. Anyways, okay, so Annabelle creation. I've seen Annabelle. It wasn't a whole bunch of the dolls, so it was alright. I think the doll looks really cool. I am still creeped out by it, not gonna lie. Clowns and dolls, man. Clowns and dolls. Anyway, so Annabelle creation is basically the start of how Annabelle got her demonic possession, I guess. So the movie starts out, I like how the movie started out. It kind of reminded me of Pet Sematary. Actually, it did remind me a lot of Pet Sematary. The beginning of Pet Sematary, where family's just having a good day, and then all of a sudden, kid dies. Like, holy shit, that was fast. Like, I was expecting it, but I didn't expect it that way. Like, I thought the truck was gonna swerve and hit her, but no, she just ran out, and that truck did not stop, and she was dead. Like, holy shit. I was like, oh, that happened. Just like the little kid in Pet Sematary. I forgot his name. Toby? I don't know. I'll have to watch that again, too. Next on my list. So, yeah, that happened, and then, you know, girls come. I thought it was funny. Well, not funny. Well, I thought it was really messed up that, the demon preyed on the disabled one. she has polio, and she has to stay at the house. She can't run around with other girls. So, she's like, oh, I can't do anything. So the demon's like, who's got polio and about to get her soul taken? Oh, about to have your body. Which also, it would be really funny once the demon took over her body that she still couldn't walk. Like, that demon would be like, fuck, what did I do? That's what you get, karma's a bitch. But it didn't happen like that. Unfortunately, she was able to walk after the demon took over her body. But we'll get to that later. Anyways, I thought it was really good. The teenager, I forgot her name, but the oldest one, I guess, she was a complete bitch. Like, oh, we'll play hide and seek. You'll go hide. We'll find you. Are we really gonna find her? I don't know. What? That was rude. You just could have told the kid, like, I don't want to play with you. Go away or something like that. And of course, she might stick around, but at least she'd know if she was being ignored, not like... But she already got a jump scare when she went under the stairs to try to hide from you. Like, she didn't need that in her life. She could have been okay with that. But I guess it was an early sign to, hey, this house has fucked up shit in it. I guess. Yeah, it was pretty creepy in some parts, mostly the dolls. Once the demon coming in, I was just like, oh, okay, he's pretty cool looking. But the doll, man. Dollhouse coming on. Doll head moving. I'm getting freaked out just by talking about it, and I'm sitting in a couch that like is not against the wall, so I keep looking behind me, and oh my god. I'd rather have a demon attack me than a doll. Any doll, honestly. Like, oh god. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Gotta calm myself down. I'm so sorry. Anyways, so yeah, I really liked that movie. It did creep me out a little bit, like I said. It creeped out talking about it. I would give it a 8 out of 10. I did like one part where Linda is trying to help. I forgot the little girl's name who gets possessed, the one with polio. She's trying to help her friend, it's her best friend, and she tries to throw the doll down the well, and the sister's like, Linda, what are you doing? She's like, this doll's possessing her. It's the one that's it's the one that killed Mr. Mullins. And she throws it down, and then it drags her. The sister helps her, and they close it, and then starts banging on the sister like, what is that? She's like, who cares? Let's run. And I was like, that's a spirit. Get the fuck out of there. Like, that was probably the best line of the whole movie. Probably like one of my favorites. Who cares? Let's run. Get the fuck out. Smartest white girl in the movie, honestly. Like, I mean, I think there was one that I watched recently. It was another smart comment like that, and it was a horror movie. I was like, yes, come on. Don't be that dumb bitch who just stays there and be like, oh wait, no, we gotta see what it is. That's how you get killed. That is how you get killed. Like, if I hear something in my apartment, I'm like, alright, not gonna go in there for a couple hours. And then I do, and there's nothing there, so probably just left when I got bored. I don't know. Or something just fell. I don't go check it out. I just don't go in there. Fuck it. Okay, done talking about that. Now to talk about the real Annabelle. Okay, so this is really, I guess, not that interesting. I mean, it is interesting if you believe in it. If you don't, it's still interesting. I think it's cool sounding. The real Annabelle doesn't look like the Annabelle in the movie. It's actually a Raggedy Ann doll, if you didn't know. And it was true that it is possessed by... the story goes that it's possessed by a little girl who died, I guess, at the same area as the apartment complex as this woman who had her. Her name was Annabelle Higgins, who haunts the doll. It is possessed. It is taken in by the Warrens after they received a call about it from the previous owner. And it was blessed, but it is locked in their museum now. You can take pictures with her, but unlike Robert the doll, but you cannot take her out of the case that she is locked in. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I learned about her a couple of years ago, and I really wanted to go to that museum that they have. I forgot where it was, but it's the Warrens Museum. You can look it up on their website. And they have a bunch of stuff. I just like the creepy and mysterious stuff, I guess. But yeah, Robert the doll is different. He won't let you take pictures. He'll actually break your camera, some people say, or just have like a flashlight when you can't see him. He gets really upset. As some spectators say, I haven't heard anything that, oh, I've taken pictures of Robert the doll. Like, there's pictures of Robert the doll, but that's pretty much it. Like, people who go there, their cameras like break and shit. I'm just like, ooh, creepy. I don't want to try because I don't really believe in it, but if it's real, I don't want to piss it off either. Like, I'd rather not be a dick to those things and be like, oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, it's creepy. I like it. Okay. I'm not gonna piss it off, though. I'm not that, like, dumb as some people are. But yeah. Podcast is gonna be a little bit short today. Next week, hopefully, we will be having another person. She has been my best friend for 14 years now. She is not living with me or in the same state as I am, so it's going to be interesting about how we do it, but I'm very excited to bring her along. We will introduce her next week, so thank you for listening to this one. I hope you have a spooktacular night. I don't know why I say these things. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, not Instagram, Tumblr, and that's pretty much it right now. Of course, like, comment, subscribe if you want. Send me recommendations and I'll watch it or look up on it. Anything like that. I did a recommendation for one of our followers to look into movies with real ghost sightings, I believe. They did talk about the original Wizard of Oz and the original Three Men and a Baby. So I will look into that in a future episode. Stay tuned for that one, and Have a good night, everyone. Stay spooky.